up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Napoli versus Barcelona in the Champions League. This is it. This is the match that Barcelona, the club, the manager, and the players have been hyping about for months now. Oh, the Champions League. Oh, this. Oh, that. Now is their time. Now is their moment to fulfill on their promise and to go out there and put up a fight. Monumental match, not even for the defining moment of the season, but for a lot of these players' futures as well at the club. It is a huge game where Barcelona, for the first time in 2 years, are going to be competing in the knockout rounds of the Champions League. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, which of course is a regular kickoff time in the Champions League. And this match will be taking place at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium, which of course is the home of Napoli. And I did see an interesting stat about Barcelona in the knockout rounds of the Champions League. We have not won away since we beat Arsenal in the 15-16 campaign. I believe it was 2-0, both goals from Messi on the penalty spot and the one where he got that beautiful counterattack. Since then, we have not won away in the Champions League in the knockout round. I can remember it off my top of my head. Next season, we lost to PSG away. Then we lost to Juventus. The year after that was Rome. The year after that was Anfield. After that, Napoli, we drew. And then Bayern Munich, COVID, we got cooked. After that, PSG away, I think we drew. The stat is not wrong. It's almost been 10 years since Barcelona won away from home in the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Let's hope we can break that curse this time. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed as well, and it will be the German referee Felix Weyer, who will be on the pitch, and one of his German colleagues will be on the VAR. He's not refereed a Barcelona match since we beat Tottenham 4-2 in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Oh no, it wasn't Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It was Wembley, because they weren't there for a year. 4-2, beautiful game for Barcelona. Messi masterclass, Rakitic golazo, Coutinho off the mark early. That was a very iconic game, but that was the last time he refereed Barcelona, and he will be refereeing this match tomorrow against Napoli. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Napoli. Of course, Napoli, historic side, one of the better sides in Serie A on paper. The name is big, of course, but this season they have been nothing short of shite. They're on the very similar page as Barcelona, where last season they were unbelievable. They won the league for the first time in God knows how long. I think it was like 30 years, something like that. This season they've been nothing short of pure and utter shite. Very similar to Barcelona. Last season great, this season just not good enough by any means necessary. Now, take a look at the last time we faced Napoli in any competition. It was in the second leg of the Europa League about 2 years ago when Xavi first took the realm at Barcelona. It was I wouldn't say a masterclass of a game. We played very well. Of course, we got the 4 goals, all about the 4-goal hype back in those times. I think Frenkie de Jong, Piqué, Jordi Alba all scored before halftime. I think in the second half, Aubameyang got a goal. We can see his 2 goals. I believe it was at 2-1 and 4-1, if I'm not mistaken, but it was a really good performance. We dominated them. Of course, in the first leg, it was 1-1. Ferran Torres scoring at home from the penalty spot. So we do have the upper hand on them in recent times, but let's now take a look more so at their performances lately. Firstly, their position in Serie A. They are 9th. They won the league last season, and they are currently 9th place. Unbelievable. They have 36 points after playing 24 games. They have 10 wins, 6 draws, 8 losses. You look at their last 5 games in the league, 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. You cannot get more mid-table than that recent form. They're currently about 9 points off the UCL spots in Serie A, and God knows how far away they are from the league title, which pretty much is not going to happen. They will not be defending their Scudetto, but they've had one of the biggest drop-offs of Serie A champion that we've seen in recent times. Now, if you take a look at the last 6 matches in all competition, in their last match, they drew 1-1 with Genoa. They lost to AC Milan 1-0. They beat Hellas Verona 2-1. They drew 0-0 with Lazio. They lost Super Cup final 1-0 to Inter, but they got there by beating Fiorentina 3-0 in the semifinals. Let's take a look firstly at the last 3 matches in all competition. Firstly is that 2-1 win against Hellas Verona. Now, I do believe they did get a late winner in this game. They were playing absolutely piss poor. I believe they scored to make it 1-0. Verona brought it back to 1-1, and they scored to make it 2-1 near the end. I believe it was definitely like 85th minute moving forward. It was not a good performance from them, but since them being at home, they had the ability to go push forward and leave some space in behind, which wasn't capitalized by Verona. In the end, a very, very, very lucky 3 points for them. Next up is their 1-0 loss to AC Milan. Now, I will say this: Napoli against the bigger sides this season have lost pretty much every single time, but they just lose, just narrowly. They either drew 1-1 or they lose by 1 goal. We saw against Inter, of course, Super Cup final, they lost only by 1 goal. Same thing in the game against AC Milan. I think they put, a decent foot forward. I think more so the personnel and the expectation of Napoli did play an effect. I don't think it was tactically why they only lost by 1 goal. The 1 goal that was scored by Theo Hernandez for AC Milan was a very, very good goal as well. They played a bit of a weird system as well. They had Kvaratskhelia, one of their better wingers, playing up front in the front two with Giovanni Simeone, with more numbers in the midfield, but overall it wasn't enough to get the job done, and they did lose out on 3 points to a direct rival, not for league standard, but in terms of, stature of the club. Now, the last game they played in all competition was a 1-1 draw with Genoa. Now, this did take place over the past weekend. I mean, I watched this game, and I'll tell you what, man. Napoli, I wouldn't say they were unlucky, but they're still a team that can create danger. They're just not being clinical whatsoever. They're again, just like Barcelona, create chances in the final third. They're not finishing, individual mistakes at the back, and they concede. It is pretty much just a copy and paste, but the situation is a bit worse. Of course, Barcelona is sat, second, third place in La Liga. They're sat mid-table around 10th, 9th, and 8th place. So it's a bit of a big difference in retrospect, but it's very much the same thing as Barcelona. Now, if you look at their lineup, of course, you have Alex Meret in goal, Lorenzi, Rahmani, you have Frank Anguissa in the midfield. I don't know what the situation right now is with Zielinski. He has signed a pre-contract agreement with Inter Milan, so he was supposed to be frozen now for the rest of the season, but now he's playing some games here and there, so I have no idea what his situation was. Giovanni Simeone up front, Politano, Kvaratskhelia as well. Osimhen, we won't really know exactly his fitness. Apparently, according to reports, he is fit to play about an hour. Whether he comes off the bench, whether he starts the game, remains to be seen, but I would expect him to make an appearance in this game for sure. We can definitely see a similar start to this, of course, but at this rate, we have no idea what Napoli are going to play. We'll talk about that in just a few seconds. But in this match, they dominated, of course, created some chances, just weren't clinical, and of course, had holes in the back and dropped, 2 big points at home to a weakened Genoa side. So overall, final thoughts on Napoli: they're in a mess, and it gets worse than what's happening on the pitch. Of course, their manager over the past few months has been Walter Materazzi. He did come in to replace Rudy Garcia around the beginning of the season, around October time. He got sacked yesterday. I could not believe it that the Napoli have sacked their manager 48 hours before going into a match against Barcelona, and they have actually appointed the Slovakia, I believe, national team coach Francisco Calzona, who will be now acting as both the Napoli coach and the Slovakia coach from now until the end of the season. He's kind of now dual managing 2 different sides. He used to be the assistant manager at Napoli, and he's now coming in under 48 hours notice. He'll have only 1 training session with Napoli, and he comes up against Barcelona in the Champions League. I mean, this is going to go either way, 50-50. It's either going to get that manager bounced, remontada, they're going to absolutely smash us, or not enough time to develop, not enough time to implement your style, and you're going to get cooked. That's the 50-50 that we're currently in. Will it make that big of a difference? No, but when we talk about, the previous 3 games in all competition, we talked about the Hellas Verona game, AC Milan game, Genoa game. You gotta just throw that all out the window, because now it's a whole new system, new style, new manager. It's very hard to anticipate that. So we'll wait and see how things turn out in that sense. Of course, Calzona was appointed yesterday. He's gonna have his press conference today, training session today, and then tomorrow's the game. So how he implements his style, how he gets integrated, I have absolutely no idea. It's a very interesting change by Napoli, but they just have sacked their coach not even 48 hours before the match against Barcelona in the Champions League. Now, in terms of personnel, players to look out for, of course, there's only one for me, and that is Kvaratskhelia, of course, the left winger for Napoli, who Barcelona have been linked with quite heavily over the past few days. Keep your eyes on him, see if he's a talent that you'd like to sign at Barcelona. Of course, I would say Di Lorenzo, the right back, very, very good as well this season. Their captain, Giovanni Simeone, very good striker, alongside Victor Osimhen, who starts up front, remains to be seen. Frank Anguissa in the midfield is very strong as well, along with Zielinski. I don't know what's going to happen with Zielinski, if he's going to play or not. He's going to leave Napoli at the end of the season. He has signed a pre-contract agreement with Inter Milan. Alex Meret in goal is a different goalkeeper. Juan Jesus and Rahmani as a back partnership aren't too bad. So again, on paper, the personnel is there. It's just not being effective on the pitch. And it's going to remain to be seen what we see tomorrow, where we'll see a whole new revolutionary side, 48 hours after changing a manager, or will be kind of the same old with a bit of, a confidence boost. it's really hard to judge, especially with them changing a whole entire managerial coaching staff. You know, if they changed that a week before, you can have somewhat of an idea, but 24 hours beforehand is very, very difficult to interpret that. Let's now take a look at the squad list. The squad list for this match has been released and confirmed, and it is as follows: Ter Stegen, Cancelo, Araujo, Martinez, Pedri, Lewandowski, Raphinha, Inaki Peña, Joao Felix, Christensen, Romeu, Victor Roque, Roberto, De Jong, Gundogan, Koundé, Astrolaga, Lamine Yamal, Casado, Fermin, Kubarsi, Marc Guiu, and Hector Fort. Of course, the two big surprises is that both Sergi Roberto and Joao Felix have received the medical green light. We're now slowly but surely recovering all these injuries. Only now Ferran Torres and Marcos Alonso are injured. Of course, Gavi and Balde out for the rest of the season, so we can expect 2 more injuries to be recovered from now until, I would say, the March international break. But we're getting a healthier squad now. Hopefully players can come in. We can have, you know, more depth, more rotation ability for Xavi, which is good. Apart from those 2 inclusions from the medical green light, there are no other changes from the previous squad list. Let's now get into the press conference reaction of Frenkie de Jong. As we all know, during the European competition, a player always accompanies the manager during the press conference, and the 4th captain, Frenkie de Jong, was selected for today. We all knew going into this, when this was announced last night, it's going to be about his contract, left, right, and center. He's going to stay, he's going to leave. Of course, the rumors over the past week or so have been ridiculous. And Frenkie de Jong has absolutely just dunked, and I mean dunked, on the entire media. You absolutely love to see it. Let's get in to see what Frenkie said in the presser. He came out, he was firstly asked, are you very excited? We haven't been in round 16 in a couple of years. Were you looking forward to it? He then was asked about the rumors about him, saying that it is irritating what people write about me. Many things come out that are not true. On his contract, he was saying, you're talking about my contract, there's a lot of smoke, and what if I earned 40 million euros? It's very far from reality. I'm very happy in Barcelona. It is the club of my dreams, and I hope to continue here for many years. Tell him, Frenkie. Absolutely tell him. Okay, again, on the media, I think what you have to change is what you're doing with these players and coaches, writing things that are just not true. Sometimes I hear that I don't have the Barcelona level. I think the press should change the lies about me. The press have been taking so many hits. Again, Mundo Deportivo are one of the better outlets in Catalonia, so to speak. They're getting absolutely dunked on yet again. This is not the first time this season where the media get absolutely crucified by the players. And Frenkie de Jong saying, look, A, I want to be at Barcelona. I want to stay here. B, all the rumors about me recently have been lies. I don't know about the Luis Conde ones. I think he's more so focusing on Fernando Martinez from Mundo Deportivo, about him wanting to leave and things like that. Thirdly, his contract, he's saying himself, I don't earn anywhere near 40 million euros. Those are wide of the mark. So these are the words coming out from Frenkie's mouth. So that's what we know is the truth, and that's what we'll take, of course, over lingering rumors in the media. Back on the Napoli game, he's saying that Napoli have a great team. Last year they won Serie A. This year they're having a harder time, but they have managed to reach round 16, and it's going to be a difficult game. He was then asked on Kvaratskhelia, saying that Kvaratskhelia is a top-level player. He's the one. He has the 1v1 ability. He has a good pass, and of course he has a good finish as well. He can make the difference while being very important. We prepare well for all matches. There's a special match, of course, for this one. The coach teaches us everything about the opposition. We're going to do it, and we'll see tomorrow if it goes well. We're very excited. Again, Napoli have a good side still, and they, of course, still have that, moment of winning Serie A last season. Again, he started, just absolutely all guns blazing on the media again, saying that, look, I do not earn 40 million per season. That is not true. This is far from reality. The media are a bit embarrassing. And then Fran Martinez, who again is a reliable source, but I don't know after this, he's going to be knocking down a couple of ratings. He was in the press conference and he asked Frenkie de Jong, you received a renewal offer from Barcelona 3 weeks ago. What are your thoughts about the offer, and when you intend on replying? So, of course, that has been the rumor a lot over the recent days. Frenkie de Jong has a renewal offer on the table. He accepts it. He stays. If not, the club will look to sell him in the summer. And Frenkie said, lies. You write a lot, don't you? In Mundo Deportivo, like the other outlets, you write things that are lies. Why do you do that? Why do you make things up? Straight at him, That's my captain right there. The best midfielder in the world. And finally, he could off by saying that lately I've been angry. A lot of wrong things are coming out in the press about my future and my contract, and I cannot understand it. Absolute masterclass from Frenkie in the press conference, and that concludes Frenkie de Jong's press conference reaction. Head the match against Napoli tomorrow. Time now to get into Xavi's press conference reaction, which of course follows the blockbuster bombshell of Frenkie de Jong. Of course, he was focused more so on the players coming into this game, the importance of the game as well, momentum and confidence of the players. And also Xavi gave his opinion on Frenkie de Jong's press conference as well. So let's go and see what the Gavi had to say this afternoon, we should say, in the press conference. For tomorrow, we have enthusiasm and hope. It is the ideal scenario to have a great game against the Napoli team that changed the coach before the game. It's not easy to prepare for a match like this. We are facing the current champions of Serie A. Victor Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia are top level players. Napoli have surprisingly changed their coach 24 hours before the game. With the change of coach, we don't really know what kind of match is gonna be happening. I think he does, of course, but in the media to the other manager, he's basically saying, I have no idea what I'm gonna do, but Xavi does have an idea, of course. Chances for tomorrow, I think it's still a 50-50 tie. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. Of course, the media, you have to earn it on the pitch. It's not been the Napoli's best season. You have to be, they have been irregular. As much as we talk, we have to talk tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We have to talk on the pitch. It's time to do our talking on the pitch. For Lewandowski, for Frenkie, for Pedri, it's a perfect stage to show their talent, their personality. For me as a coach as well, Robert is a leader. He has shown again what he is as of his recent form, of course. With the Napoli change of coach tomorrow, we'll see what the tactics they will use. We are seeing how they can play, what formation they'll use, but the formation is not the important thing regardless of the opposition side. What matters is what we do on the pitch. That is, of course, the correct mentality from Xavi. Then asked about Frenkie de Jong's words about 5 minutes ago when he was speaking about it. He said, look, the words of Frenkie, you can understand Frenkie perfectly. Any footballer suffers injustice. For me, he's fundamental. I think he's a player for many years to come. He is a key player, of course, for our squad. Napoli's new coach, Calzone, has never played with a back three before, like Mazzarri, but it's not the most important thing for tomorrow. So again, Xavi already showing that he's done some research. Again, him saying that he has no idea is just for the face of the media. I'm sure he does his coaching staff. Last night, we're doing their research about Calzone as a manager. We don't play to shut mouths. We play for the people who love the club. Tomorrow is the day to enjoy ourselves and above all, to compete. The moment of truth was also at Porto's ground. If we reach quarterfinals, you will have to say it's the momentum of truth. We have to try and compete on all levels. It is crucial for us to defend well tomorrow. It's difficult to stop Kvaratskhelia, Osimhen, and the Politano front three. You have to prepare for a game knowing that there's still 90 minutes left in the Montjuic in the second leg. That does not change our DNA. We have to defend well and, of course, have the ball. We don't blame the media for our results, but we do feel injustice with things that have been said that are not true. So that's a very good comeback there from Xavi saying, oh, it's all the media's fault. Of course, we're the ones playing on the pitch, but what's being said afterwards, when it's lies and stuff, it is, injustice. The objective is not only to go beyond our tie against Napoli. The main objective is to be in the quarterfinals. The tie has become more united. The reaction has been very good from the president, from Deco. Everyone's happy with the way we are in the dressing room. This tie is going to be close. I don't think playing away first is a disadvantage or an advantage. It is no clear favorite. You have to earn it on the pitch. We'll go out tomorrow to win. A draw is not a good result for Barcelona. That's how I was brought up, although we have to bear in mind that we play the second leg at the Montjuic. There's been also reports coming out recently that all the Barcelona players in the dressing room, I think Jordi Gil from Sport was saying that the players in the dressing room don't know why Barcelona fans have no confidence in the team, that they have a good squad, blah, blah. I'm like, you guys have been shite since October. You showed us nothing on the pitch, and this again, they've been hyping up this as a game a lot over recent months. Massive opportunity for them to get the fans back on their side, give us confidence and momentum along with themselves as well. And finally, Xavi concluded on a question about Frenkie de Jong's words, of course, in his press conference, saying that we don't blame the media for the results, but it is true that sometimes you feel injustice when they say things that are not true. In this sense, the footballer takes it out on themselves, but you have to play better, compete better. We understand that, but there are things that are unfair. And that concluded Xavi's press conference reaction to the match against Napoli in the Champions League tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm not going to try my best to predict this lineup. I'm going to give you guys right now the lineup for tomorrow's game. I am 1,000,000,000% sure that this will be the lineup that Xavi will select for the match tomorrow. It will be this lineup on the screen right now. It will be Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Koundé, Araujo, Inigo Martinez, and João Cancelo, midfield three of Christensen, De Jong, and Gundogan, and a front three of Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, and Pedri. This is the rumored team based on leaks from Javi Miguel from AS. The only change I can see from this team is Raphinha coming in. Whether Raphinha can start in a front three, we know that Raphinha on the left isn't really the best. Lamine Yamal is on hot form at the moment. That's the only real change I do see. Of course, you can make the argument for Kubarsi to start in the defense, but I think, after the recent performance, it wasn't too great. Also, in a big game like this, you don't want to put too much pressure on the kid. I'm very, very intrigued to see if there's any other changes possible. There literally isn't at this point, and I'm telling you right now, this will be the lineup that Xavi will select for this match. Of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Xavi will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was a Barcelona coach. Not going to beat around the bush here. I have selected the exact same lineup. Again, only real question mark was on Raphinha being included somehow. If he was better on the left, I would have considered it, but with we know him from last season on the left and even a bit of this season, he's just like a basically completely different player. And of course, Lamine right now is on fantastic form. He could be the youngest goal scorer in Champions League history if he gets this goal. I believe then the record right now is on Sofati, back when he scored against Inter, I believe, with a great long shot, by the way. I think that was in the group stages, but nonetheless, a little bit of a detour there. This would be the lineup. I mean, you cannot really argue against this. Again, the Raphinha question is there, but other than that, this would be the lineup for tomorrow's match. Of course, in the comments down below, you can let me know if you disagree with Xavi and I highly doubt you will, though. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? As my official prediction, I have gone with a draw, 1-1, 0-0, maybe 2-2, worst case scenario, but I definitely think Barcelona should be winning this game. The amount of hype that we've heard from the club, the players, and the manager over this game is astounding. There's even been reports that there was a 2-hour meeting last Monday after the match against Granada, talking about, self-criticism and the manager and the players coming together as one. Again, every single interview we've seen from players and managers have always been about the Champions League game. Just not the Champions League winning it in general, just beating Napoli and qualifying for the quarterfinals. For, of course, that extra money, extra stature, maybe help us get into the Club World Cup as well in 2025. This tie itself is a must-win. And with Barcelona's away record being very strong this season, we're going to be winning the Senior kit as well. We're undefeated in the Senior kit this season. Everything bodes well for Barcelona. But I think in the end, the momentum of Napoli, a little bit of a manager bounce, of course, us playing away in a big Champions League tie where we've been nothing short of abysmal and disgraceful over the past 10 years, will come into effect. If we lose this game, I dare to think of what the consequences can be. I'm not even want to think about it because I know it's just detrimental. Yeah, like Xavi's job is on the line. If Xavi loses this tie with Napoli, not this game, but both legs, and gets knocked out, I think he will be sacked. I think he will either be sacked or he walks away from the job. This is how monumental this game is. I think in the first leg, though, maybe after, playing away against Celta Vigo over the past weekend, might get to the players a little bit fatigued here and there. Gundogan was rested, but I don't think that's enough. I think overall it will be a draw, but I do definitely see Barcelona winning this game. I think we can win this game, but if Napoli win, detrimental beyond belief. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that was a match preview for Napoli versus Barcelona in the Champions League. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. But the main thing I want firstly, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, on the lineups, do you agree with my lineup and Xavi's lineup, or what would you select otherwise? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me and watch the game with me. Follow after the match, buy my match review. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Do or die, and I do mean quite literally. Take care, and Forza Barca.
Go,